Hello, my name is Pamela Oliveira. Welcome to What is Happening in Brazil. Last week, we reported on the release of Brazil's ex-president, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, after he was held for 580 days as a political prisoner. He left the federal police headquarters in Curitiba on November 8th after the Supreme Court of Brazil decided that a person can be imprisoned only after exhausting all appeals, which is what the Constitution says. Lula had been imprisoned on April 7, 2018, when Sérgio Moro, a judge who later became the Justice Minister in the Jair Bolsonaro administration, ordered his arrest for allegedly receiving benefits to buy a beachside apartment on the coast of São Paulo. Our Brasil de Fato team, including myself, was there to witness Lula's release from prison and the people who welcomed him back. Watch our report.
After 580 days of incarceration, Lula was freed and welcomed by a huge crowd. About 5:40 p.m. on November 8th, the ex-president was released from the federal police headquarters in Curitiba. For the entire time he was held, political activists and supporters have maintained a vigil outside the prison. Lula has constantly said that the first thing he would do after he was released would be to greet all the people who have supported him throughout his ordeal.
Vocês não têm dimensão do significado.
You have no idea how much it means for me to be here with you. I have never imagined that one day I would be here speaking to the men and women who shouted "Good morning, Lula, good evening, Lula," during 580 days.
After thanking those who supported him in Curitiba, it was time to fly back to his political stronghold. On Saturday, November 9th, Lula visited the Metal Workers Union in São Bernardo do Campo, where he started his political career and spearheaded historical strikes in the late 1970s. Thousands of supporters joined the rally this weekend.
We, the youth, the future of this country, will not let democracy die like that.
Outside the Metal Workers Union offices, Lula spoke for about 45 minutes. He attacked the justice system that imprisoned him, criticized the mistakes of the Jair Bolsonaro administration, and said he will be on the streets with the people to fight for rights.
I'm tired of seeing 14, 15-year-olds robbing, being assaulted, being killed by the police. Innocent kids, or sometimes kids who just robbed a phone. If people have work, if people have wages, if people have a place to study, if people have access to culture, that will reduce violence. You all can count on me. The only thing that I will not do in my life is betray the trust you have had in me all these years. My love to you all. God bless you. Goodbye for now, until we meet again.
And here's what else happened in Brazil this week.
The Peoples BRICS Summit took place this week in Brasília, the capital of Brazil. The meeting brought together representatives of social movements, labor unions, and political parties from the 5 countries that are members of the bloc: Brazil, India, China, Russia, and South Africa. The participants discussed the common interests shared by the people and to counter the BRICS Summit when the presidents of these countries met in the same week. The delegations of different people's movements shared their strategies of resistance and expressed their solidarity with the president of Bolivia, Evo Morales, who was forced to resign in a coup in November 10th. Demonstrators protested outside the Bolivian embassy in Brasília. The participants of the event argued that the political instability in Latin America demonstrates how important it is to stand in solidarity with the people, especially with those who are out on the streets fighting for democracy. The government of President Jair Bolsonaro launched last week a new employment program for 18 to 29-year-old workers. The government claims the policy aims to improve the economy and create jobs, as unemployment figures hit a new high in the country. But the measure actually creates even more vulnerable employment conditions for the young workforce entering the job market. The project reduces taxes for companies that hire young people by 30%. But that means cutting the contributions from employees' guarantee fund for length of service and social security plans. Not only that means reducing their rights, but the measure also impacts the Brazilian economy as a whole, because it exempts employers from paying taxes that could lead to a pension shortfall in the future. Experts are also concerned that the country's traditional formal employment and social security system could fall out of favor with this new program.
Bahia, in the northeast Brazil, is the state with the largest number of people who self-declare as black. It's also a place that is famous for its music, renowned in Brazil and around the world. It's where musicians such as Caetano Veloso, Daniela Mercury and Gilberto Gil were born. And it's also the home state of Luedji Luna. She moved to São Paulo in 2015 to pursue her career, and since then she has become one of the most important singers and songwriters in black activism and Brazilian music. Luedji Luna spoke with Brasil de Fato about how music has been a source of healing, coping and empowerment for her as a black woman. Check out the interview.
Eu sou corpo, ser, corpo só. Tem cor, tem corte, e a história do meu lugar. Eu passei anos sentindo que
I've spent years feeling that music had an impact on me, feeling that that was my place, but I kept denying it, pretending that nothing happened inside me. Because I had to worry about school, about being a good student, about attending public university, then graduating, then being something grand, you know? We know that being an artist in this country, and maybe in the world, is not a prestigious position.
Na psique gera na mulher negra.
The impact of racism, of this structure on the psyche, creates this logic of self-destruction and insecurity in black women, or me at least. Making music, for me, is about healing. I think that we have a lot of healing to do.
Eu acho que a gente tem muito que se curar. Então, ser mulher preta é se deparar com tudo isso. Com todas essas adversidades.
Being a black woman is facing all that, all these adversities, and still being able to exist to the fullest with beauty. The stories I hear and know about black women are all stories of overcoming difficulties. I don't think there is a stronger human being than a black woman.
Superação. Acho que não tem ser humano mais mágico e forte do que uma mulher negra. E a palavra amor, cadê Jesus? E a palavra amor, cadê Jesus?
And now it's time to discover new flavors and sounds from Brazil. This is Brazilianism.
My name is Hugo Cesar, and today I'm going to make a plantain lasagna with jerked beef and coalho cheese. It's wonderful! The first step is to peel the plantains. They have to be ripe. Now we slightly press a lime to release the juice. Then we squeeze it in a bowl of water. Now let's thinly slice the plantains and dip them in this bowl to keep them from turning brown. Then it's time to build up the layers of our lasagna. First, I will spread a layer of tomato sauce on the bottom of our baking dish. Next, I will add a layer of sliced plantains, followed by a layer of sliced mozzarella. Then I will alternate a layer of sauce and a layer of jerked beef. I can spread another layer of sauce, followed by another layer of sliced plantains. Then another layer of tomato sauce. And finally, I will grate coalho cheese on top of it. Now let's take this lasagna to the oven for 30 minutes to get that grating crust. There you have it!
Want to receive the latest news from Brazil? Add this number to your contacts and send us a WhatsApp message with your name and country. That's it for today. We'll be back next week. Bye!